The Louvre Museum in Paris, which was considered the world's most secure structure, was robbed in broad daylight. No one can believe that the kind of astonishing robberies we used to see in Hollywood movies could actually happen in real life. Once again, a warm welcome to Scope History's video. On the morning of October 19, 2025, the Louvre Museum opens to the public as usual. Guards are in their positions, and tourists from around the world enter the museum. At 8:30 in the morning, the museum had been open for 30 minutes. When an unusual movement occurs on the other side of the museum, which faces the River Seine, a truck, typically used to deliver furniture to high floors, stops near the museum wall. This truck had a mechanical lift attached, and neither did this truck need to lift any furniture, nor were the intentions of those inside it clear. There were a total of 4 people in this group. They wore yellow and orange vests, just like construction workers, but they hid their faces with balaclavas. 2 of the 4 people, without any hesitation, extended the mechanical lift to reach a balcony on the first floor of the museum. This balcony led to one of the most magnificent sections of the museum, the Galerie d'Apollon, the Gallery of Apollo. This is the very gallery where the French royal treasures were displayed. But entering the Apollo Gallery had a major obstacle, a very thick glass wall. After reaching the balcony, they took an industrial-grade disc cutter from their bag. In just a few seconds, they made a hole in the gallery's glass and managed to get inside. All of this happened so quickly that the security guards were still unaware. But this action triggered the museum's security alarm. The guards inside the gallery saw the thieves. But the thieves didn't care about anything. They threatened the guards by showing them power tools and kept on with their work. The guards immediately, following protocol, began to evacuate tourists from the gallery. There was now complete chaos in the museum. An eyewitness later said that there was total terror all around. People couldn't understand what was happening. While the police and staff members were busy ushering distressed people out of the museum, those 2 thieves extremely calmly broke the glass of the display cases in the gallery. They grabbed 9 priceless treasures. Using the same broken glass, they exited back onto the balcony and left. There, down below, their 2 accomplices were now waiting for them on scooters. They descended quickly via the lift stairs. They got on the scooters and fled from there. All of this happened so fast that no one had a chance to understand it. According to the police, the thieves stayed inside the museum for 4 minutes. The entire operation, parking the truck, extending the lift, cutting the glass, and escaping took just 8 minutes in total. As they left, they also tried to set the lift truck on fire so that the police would not find any evidence or fingerprints on it.
But a brave staff member of the museum intervened immediately and stopped them from doing so. These thieves managed to escape along the riverside. They went through the Boulevard Périphérique Paris Ring Road. They then headed on to the A6 motorway. This daylight robbery was an unbearable disgrace for France. But the question is, what exactly was stolen from the museum? What items did they target? When the damage was assessed, a wave of shock spread across all of France. The items stolen had a financial value, of course, but their historical and cultural value was called priceless. According to the Ministry of Culture, a total of 8 valuable items were stolen from the Louvre Museum. Now, you might think that I said 9 earlier. Yes, the thieves did steal 9 items. But as they were escaping, one of them fell on the road. This was a 170-year-old crown of Empress Eugenie, who was the wife of Napoleon III. This crown had been specially made for her in 1855. When the thieves were pulling this crown out through the glass hole, since the hole was too small, it didn't come out. By forcing it out, the crown was significantly damaged, in the end, due to falling on the road. It also got several scratches. The museum's director later said that its repair might be possible, but it would require a new restoration process, and the loss of those 8 items cannot be compensated. They included a beautiful tiara and a brooch of Empress Eugenie. They also included an emerald necklace and matching earrings of Empress Marie-Louise, who was Napoleon Bonaparte's second wife. There was also a tiara, necklace, and earring set of Queen Mary Amélie. Queen Hortense's sapphire set was also stolen. Along with these, a special brooch called the reliquary brooch was taken. All these items were from the 19th century. They were set with thousands of diamonds, emeralds, sapphires, and other precious stones. These were not just jewelry. They were part of France's royal history. According to an estimate, the gold, stones, and diamonds used in all this jewelry had a value of $102 million. But in terms of the royal family to which they belonged, Even $102 million could not match their worth. Whether it was $1 billion or more, it could not truly be valued. That is why it was called priceless. The surprising thing was that the thieves did not even touch the most valuable items in that gallery. For example, they ignored the famous Regency diamond. This diamond alone was worth 51 million euros, or $60 million. Additionally, the Sancy and Hortensia diamonds were also kept there, but the thieves ignored them. For this reason, it is believed that perhaps they were operating on a special order. They seemed to know exactly what they had to steal. The Paris prosecutor's office said that this loss was not of money, but of France's history. But here arises the question, in the world's most famous museum, where millions come every year. Despite all this security, where exactly was the shortfall? When the investigation started, many astonishing discoveries were made. French media, in the initial reports, stated that in that part of the museum where the theft occurred, every third room had no CCTV camera at all. As in the world's largest museum, CCTV coverage was completely lacking in some areas. Goulet told the BBC that the alarm that had sounded was actually the museum's wider alarm. There had been a localized alarm system on that balcony as well, but it had broken down just a few days earlier. If that alarm had been working, the security would have detected the thieves' entry onto the balcony. The museum's director, immediately after the theft, acknowledged this security failure. He even offered his resignation to the Ministry of Culture, but his resignation was not accepted. This theft raised a major question mark over the security of France's museums. And let me also tell you that this was not the first such incident. In this same museum, in 1911, the painting of the Mona Lisa was also stolen. A former employee of the museum had stolen Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting. He hid the painting under his coat. He easily walked out. The painting was recovered 2 years later in Italy. It was found when the thief was trying to sell it. This incident is what made the Mona Lisa the most famous painting in the world. After that, in 1976, a sword of King Charles X was also stolen from this museum. 3 thieves broke a window. They entered and stole King Charles X's sword. It has never been recovered to this day. And for the last time, in 1998 as well, this museum was the center of an incident. The thieves also stole a painting in broad daylight by removing it from its frame. They managed to escape. This painting is still missing to this day. And now, 27 years later, this robbery took place. At this time, more than 60 investigators are working on this case. In fact, some reports say more than 100 investigators are involved. Fortunately, on Saturday, October 25, 2025, the police arrested 2 suspects who appear to have deep links to this robbery. The police collected around 150 DNA samples and fingerprints from the scene. These samples were taken from the thieves' belongings, such as helmets and gloves. Samples were also collected from inside the truck, and the police say that the arrests were made based on matching these DNA samples. One of the suspects had a prior record for gold theft. The police hope that all the thieves and masterminds involved in the Paris Museum robbery will be caught soon. But it has not yet been said whether the stolen items were recovered from these suspects. After the theft, the museum was closed until October 22nd, but the Apollo Gallery is still closed. The police say that this was a highly organized and professional theft. The investigation is still ongoing. I hope you will also like and share this video by Scope History. Thank you so much for your love and comments. See you in the next amazing video.